Imagine you're holding a slice of cake in your hand. You can almost taste it, right? That moist, sweet frosting, the rich flavor, just thinking about it is enough to make your mouth water. But now picture something else. Ice cream. The moment you think of ice cream, that cake in your hand almost disappears from your mind. The cool, creamy texture of ice cream takes over your thoughts, and you can't stop imagining it. But now that you're thinking about the ice cream, try to stop thinking about it. Try to push it out of your mind. It's tough, isn't it? The more you try not to think about it, the more it lingers. The more you try to ignore it, the more it consumes your thoughts. That's exactly how temptation works in our lives. When you say, "I won't sin today," or "I won't be tempted," what you're really doing is focusing on the temptation itself. You're still giving it space in your mind. The more you tell yourself to avoid it, the more you become fixated on it. It's like trying not to think about the ice cream. The more you try to avoid it, the more your mind drifts back to it. What if, instead of trying to stop thinking about the ice cream or the cake, we focused our minds somewhere else entirely? What if we fixed our attention somewhere higher, somewhere better? This is exactly what the Bible encourages us to do. In Hebrews it says, "Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith." Notice how it doesn't say, "Don't look at sin" or "avoid temptation." It says, "Fix your eyes on Jesus." What if instead of holding that cake, you were holding a Bible in your hands? What if every time your mind wandered to the temptation, you focused on Him, on His love, His sacrifice, His truth? Suddenly, that temptation, that craving for the cake or ice cream begins to lose its power over you. Not because you're avoiding it, but because you're focused on something greater, something more fulfilling. Every day, we're bombarded with distractions and struggles, lust, pride, envy, fear. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if we just avoid these things, we'll be fine. But the Bible doesn't call us to merely avoid sin. It calls us to pursue Christ. Temptation is like that cake or ice cream. It's constantly in our face. But if we fix our eyes on Jesus, if we fill our minds and hearts with His presence and His word, the temptation begins to fade away. In the same way that focusing on the picture of Jesus takes your mind off the cake or ice cream, focusing on Jesus takes your mind off the lust, the distractions, the desires of the world. When you set your heart on Him, your priorities shift. You begin to realize that what you're longing for, peace, purpose, joy, can only be truly found in Him. So how do we fix our eyes on Jesus when temptation feels so strong? The moment you feel yourself drifting towards temptation, remind yourself, "I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on Jesus." Replace the thought with something positive, like a scripture or a prayer. Surround yourself with people who also desire to focus on Jesus. Accountability partners can help you keep your eyes fixed on Him, especially when temptation feels overwhelming. It's not about avoiding sin, it's about pursuing Christ. Temptation will always try to grab your attention, but if you keep your focus on Jesus, everything else will fade into the background. The more you focus on Him, the less power temptation will have over your life. So instead of trying to fight the temptation head on, simply shift your gaze, your heart, and your mind to Jesus. When you do that, you'll find the peace and strength to overcome anything this world throws at you.